Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we dive into Minimalism, a transformative book published in 2011 that proposes an alternative to the exhausting 9 to 5 grind. Penned by Joshua Fields Millburn and Ryan Nicodemus, also known as the Minimalists, this book is a beacon for those seeking to escape the financial and emotional shackles of modern life. Through practical guidance, the authors illustrate how to shed the excess and focus on what truly matters, paving the way for a lifestyle that is not only simpler, but deeply rewarding and authentic. Before embracing minimalism, both Millburn and Nicodemus were entrenched in the corporate world, climbing the ladder and earning six-figure salaries. Yet, despite their success, they felt unfulfilled. Their decision to abandon the pursuit of material wealth in favor of a simpler, more meaningful life has been a source of inspiration for many. Their experiences and the lessons learned form the crux of this book, which they share with the world through their widely followed platform, theminimalists.com. Minimalism is an essential read for anyone yearning for a more peaceful existence, for those overwhelmed by clutter and distraction, and for individuals tired of living paycheck to paycheck in pursuit of fulfillment. Join us as we explore how Millburn and Nicodemus guide readers away from the clutter towards a minimalist lifestyle that emphasizes authenticity and personal fulfillment. Minimalism. Live a meaningful life. Introduction. Escape the 9 to 5, finding purpose beyond the paycheck. Imagine waking up to a day not defined by the drone of an alarm clock, heralding another cycle of the 9 to 5 grind. Visualize a living space not crowded with the latest gadgets or cluttered with items meant to distract from the monotony of overextended work weeks. The harrowing reality for many is a life tethered to work that fails to spark joy, complemented by possessions that add little more than complexity and distraction. It's a cycle all too familiar, yet within it lies the potential for transformation, an opportunity to shift gears away from the relentless pursuit of corporate approval and material accumulation. The narrative isn't just about disengagement, but about re-engagement with what genuinely matters. It beckons us to ask, what if the key to a more fulfilled life isn't found in the accumulation, but in the subtraction? Taking cues from the courageous journey of those who dared to step off the conventional path, we're introduced to a road less traveled. It's one paved not with compromise, but with authenticity and deliberate living. The essence of the message is clear. It's possible to declutter not just our physical spaces, but our minds and bodies too. The aim is not just to discard, but to discover, to uncover a life replete with purpose and meaning, devoid of the excess that obscures our core values and aspirations. This narrative isn't advocating for the wholesale removal of all possessions or the rejection of everything that brings us joy. It's about discernment, the ability to distinguish between what truly serves us and what detracts from our well-being. That cherished collection on the shelf? It need not be discarded if it brings genuine joy and connection. The transformation proposed transcends the physical realm, challenging the notion that our jobs must define us. It invites us to reevaluate not just how we earn a living, but how we live. As we peel away the layers of consumerism and societal expectations, we find at our core not a title or a paycheck, but a person yearning for connection, simplicity, and authenticity. So how do we embark on this journey of decluttering and rediscovery? It begins with a willingness to question the status quo and a readiness to embrace simplicity. It's a process, a shift away from instant gratification and towards lasting satisfaction and meaning. It requires effort, yes, but the rewards are immeasurable. A life not just lived, but cherished. A sense not just of existing, but of thriving. In embracing this minimalistic approach, we're not abandoning ambition or joy, but redefining them. We're charting a course towards a life where our values dictate our possessions and actions, not the other way around. It's a clarion call to reclaim our lives, to fill them not with clutter, but with purpose. And in doing so, we find that the greatest luxury isn't material wealth, but the freedom to live authentically and mindfully, true to ourselves and what truly matters. Part 1. Discovering Happiness. Beyond the Paycheck. The narrative that success is inextricably linked to acquiring a good job, and consequently a hefty paycheck, is a story many of us have been told since childhood. This tale equates success with financial gain, suggesting that the ultimate measure of achievement is how much one earns. Yet the real-life experiences of many, including the wealthy, challenge this very notion, presenting a paradox wherein the pursuit of money often leads to anything but happiness. Indeed, the pursuit of wealth is frequently accompanied by a suite of problems: stress-induced comfort eating, frivolous spending on the latest gadgets, and an incessant preoccupation with the future at the expense of the present moment. Moreover, the relentless chase after financial success often comes with a personal cost too steep for many: the sacrifice of precious hours that could be spent with loved ones, leaving children to be raised by others in the pursuit of more. Thus unfolds the truth: money, especially when earned through stressful and demanding jobs, tends to buy unhappiness rather than joy. Nicodemus, co-author of Minimalism, found himself pondering over this very dilemma during his tenure in a job many would envy. Ascending through the ranks to a managerial position only compounded his stress, anxiety, and depression, despite the apparent financial rewards. This experience led him to a critical realization: no amount of money could compensate for the toll taken on one's mental health by a stress-laden job. Yet, trapped in the mindset that one's job is everything, it feels like a never-ending race for more money. Both Nicodemus and his colleague Joshua Fields Millburn once believed that happiness was a paycheck away, a belief that persisted even as their financial goals continued to escalate with each milestone reached. However, with increased income came increased financial obligations, trapping them in a constant cycle of earning and spending without ever feeling satisfied. The turning point came when they chose to exit this relentless cycle, stepping away from their jobs to embrace a lifestyle that prioritized minimalism, working and consuming less. It was in this transition away from the dominant narrative of success and towards a minimalist approach that they found true contentment. The essence of their journey underscores a profound shift in perspective. Happiness is not found in the accumulation of wealth or in the stress of high-stakes employment, but in the liberation from these very constraints. Minimalism, as they discovered, is more than a financial choice. It's a holistic approach that involves shedding not only financial burdens, but all excesses that hinder our well-being. Part 2. Embarking on Minimalism. Clear your debts and declutter your space. When pondering the question, "What's holding me back?" many might not immediately recognize the anchors in their lives. Yet, for a vast number, these anchors manifest as various forms of debt, be it from mortgages, credit cards, or student loans, that cast a shadow over their emotional and financial well-being. The journey towards minimalism begins with an essential, albeit challenging step: liberating yourself from all forms of debt. It's easy to fall prey to the allure of credit card promotions or enticing mortgage offers, seduced into believing the myth of good debt. However, the stark truth is that all debt acts as a hindrance, an unwanted burden that impedes our pursuit of a simpler, more meaningful life. Joshua Fields. Millburn's personal transition to minimalism vividly illustrates the sacrifices required to break free from the chains of debt. Embarking on a disciplined 2-year journey, he adopted a stringent budget, foregoing vacations, dining out, and other luxuries. The result was more than just financial freedom. It was the profound sense of liberation that came with the ability to live on his own terms. But the minimalist transformation doesn't stop with financial decluttering. It also invites a critical examination of our physical environments. It's essential to confront the reality that our possessions, no matter how abundant or expensive, don't define us. Instead, we should ask ourselves whether these items facilitate our ability to live in the moment or serve as obstacles to doing so. Take, for example, the case of Joshua Fields Millburn's mother, who meticulously stored every piece of her son's elementary school work in 4 untouched boxes. This act of preservation was a poignant attempt to cling to the past, to a time when her son was still a young boy. Yet, the essence of our life's most cherished moments lies not in material objects, but in the memories and relationships they represent. While it's not necessary to discard everything, prioritizing items of genuine significance, like framing a single, meaningful drawing instead of hoarding boxes of mementos, can have a transformative impact. The act of decluttering extends beyond creating more physical space. It offers us mental clarity, freeing our minds from the constant noise of our belongings demanding our attention. As we embark on this minimalist journey, we'll also explore how to declutter our bodies, shedding not just the physical weight, but the mental burdens that complicate our pursuit of simplicity and fulfillment. Part 3. Achieving Minimalism. Through mindful consumption and exercise, embarking on a journey towards minimalism doesn't stop at decluttering our living spaces or freeing ourselves from debt. It also encompasses a crucial aspect of our lives that often goes unnoticed: the quality of what we put into our bodies. In a world inundated with countless diets and fitness fads, the key to real change lies not in temporary fixes, but in a fundamental shift in how we perceive and treat our bodies. Imagine your body as a high-performance machine. Just as premium fuel can enhance the performance of a sports car, high-quality foods can elevate our body's functionality to its peak potential. It follows, then, that processed and prepackaged foods, laden with additives, preservatives, and an overabundance of sugar, should be avoided. These foods might offer a fleeting sense of satisfaction, but the long-term repercussions on our health and mood far outweigh any temporary pleasure. But the decluttering doesn't end with junk food. Dairy and bread, staples of the modern diet yet relatively recent additions in the span of human history, can also be reconsidered. Despite our adaptation to agriculture, our bodies are not inherently designed to handle the large quantities of wheat and pasteurized milk we now consume regularly. Even without explicit intolerances, many find that reducing these elements and instead focusing on natural whole foods like vegetables, fish, and legumes leads to a noticeable boost in energy and overall well-being. With our diets reimagined, our attention turns to the physical, our fitness. Adopting a mindset of constant growth, where each session is an opportunity to surpass previous achievements, is essential. Rather than framing exercise as something we should do, reframe it as something we must do. This shift from passive intention to active commitment can profoundly impact our motivation and results. For example, if pull-ups seem beyond reach, start with what is achievable: hanging from the bar. By incrementally increasing the time spent hanging, you build strength and resilience, laying the foundation for future accomplishments. This approach, rooted in persistence and incremental progress, illustrates that achieving fitness goals, much like minimalism, is not about drastic measures, but about consistent, mindful efforts. In essence, minimalism extends to how we nourish and care for our bodies. Through conscious dietary choices and a commitment to physical improvement, we can declutter our health regimen, leading to a clearer mind, a more vibrant body, and an overall sense of well-being. This holistic approach to minimalism isn't just about eliminating excess, it's about enriching our lives with what truly benefits us, setting the stage for a more fulfilled and healthy existence. Part 4. Embracing Change. A Path to Authenticity and Healthier Relationships. Human connections, whether with friends or loved ones, form the essence of our emotional well-being. If you find yourself grappling with feelings of isolation or dissatisfaction in your relationships, consider it a sign. It might just be the perfect moment for introspection and perhaps a gentle nudge towards evolving into a more accepting and accepted version of yourself. The journey to enriching relationships begins with an openness to change, a quality easier said than embraced. The thought of altering aspects of ourselves often meets fierce resistance, fueled by the conviction in our authentic self. But here lies a pivotal realization. Acknowledging areas of potential growth does not detract from our authenticity. Rather, it's an act of courage, a step towards enhancing our interactions and connections with others. Consider common grievances one might have about oneself: shyness, being a poor listener, or dissatisfaction with one's physical health. Viewing these traits as unchangeable or inherently you is a misconception. Transformation in these areas is not only possible, but can pave the way to more meaningful and fulfilling relationships. Isolation need not be a life sentence. Rather, becoming a more engaging conversationalist or a more active listener can open doors to deeper connections. Moreover, embracing diversity in thought and opinion among your circle is another stride towards enriched relationships. The yearning to be surrounded by like-minded individuals is a natural one. However, it's a restrictive desire that can lead to missed opportunities for connection. Relationships thrive on the foundations of love and acceptance, not the similarity of hobbies or mutual agreements on every topic. Thus, cultivating an open-mindedness towards differing viewpoints can significantly reduce feelings of loneliness. In this vein, the appreciation of our loved ones' unique interests, even those we might personally find perplexing or trivial, becomes paramount. Consider a partner's passion for collecting action figures, a hobby that might seem at odds with minimalist principles. Yet, if this collection brings them joy and meaning, it deserves not only our tolerance, but our respect and appreciation. It is a reflection of their individuality and, by extension, a facet of what makes your relationship unique. To navigate this journey of acceptance and appreciation, the Tara method offers a structured approach. Tolerate. Acknowledge the existence of their unique interests without judgment. Accept. Recognize that these interests are a permanent fixture in their life. Respect. Admire their dedication and the joy their hobby brings them. Appreciate. Embrace their hobby as an enriching component of your shared life. This path towards enhancing our relationships through self-improvement and acceptance doesn't betray our authenticity. Instead, it expands it. By progressively embracing change, we not only foster deeper connections, but also discover a more authentic version of ourselves, one that is both loving and loved, amidst all the beautifully diverse opinions and hobbies that shape our shared human experience. Part 5. Defining yourself beyond the job title. The narrative that our jobs and income are the quintessence of our identities is not only pervasive, but limiting. It's crucial to challenge the notion that professional achievements serve as the primary benchmark of our worth. After all, we are multifaceted beings, our lives a tapestry of interests, talents, and passions that cannot be neatly summarized by our job titles. The danger of conflating our identity with our work is that it confines us to a narrow understanding of who we are. Many find themselves adhering to a linear career path within a single industry, believing it to be intrinsically linked to their identity. This perspective, however, overlooks the broader scope of our lives and the diverse roles we embody. Your profession, while significant, is but one aspect of your existence and should not be the anchor that limits your potential. In shedding light on what truly matters, we find that our jobs don't even rank among the top 5 priorities in life. Far surpassing the importance of our professional titles are our health, relationships, passions, personal growth, and contributions to the community. These dimensions of our lives offer a fuller, more nuanced reflection of our essence and achievements than a business card ever could. Given this understanding, the common small talk query, "So what do you do?" seems reductive, boiling down complex lives to mere job functions. This question, often posed early in conversations, incorrectly assumes that our vocation is the most significant aspect of our identity. But there's an alternative approach, one that seeks to uncover the richness of our personalities and interests beyond our work. Rather than defaulting to inquiries about one's profession, consider asking, "What are you into?" or "What are you passionate about?" These questions open the door to revealing conversations that transcend the superficial, inviting others to share the pursuits that truly animate them. And when you're on the receiving end of the "What do you do?" question, take it as an opportunity to redirect the conversation to more meaningful territories. By responding with something along the lines of, "I engage in various pursuits, but lately I'm particularly passionate about gardening. What about you?" You not only sidestep the emphasis on work, but also encourage an exchange of genuine interests and enthusiasms. In embracing this shift away from work-centric identities, we offer ourselves and others the chance to explore and celebrate the diverse facets of our lives. We open pathways to richer interactions, deeper connections, and a more expansive understanding of what defines us. After all, we are far more than the roles we play in our professional lives. We are a constellation of passions, relationships, and endeavors that together weave the unique narrative of who we truly are. Part 6. Embracing Financial Freedom Through Minimalism. The allure of minimalism extends far beyond a clutter-free living space. At its core, it offers a pathway to a life less dictated by the demands of work and more by the pursuit of genuine fulfillment. Achieving this lifestyle, however, entails a pivotal shift towards reducing our reliance on substantial income. Embarking on this journey involves several practical steps, the cornerstone of which is mastering the art of living on a modest income. The first step in this process is establishing a detailed monthly budget to delineate between needs and wants. Needs encompass the essentials: groceries, utilities, transportation, and other non-negotiable expenses. Wants, on the other hand, include discretionary spending, such as new clothing or entertainment. To effectively adhere to this budget, it's advisable to allocate specific amounts for both needs and wants at the month's outset, possibly even dividing them into separate accounts to prevent overspending. This strict allocation ensures that every dollar is purposefully spent, contributing to a disciplined approach to finances that curbs impulsive purchases. For this system to work harmoniously, particularly in a shared household, it's imperative that all members buy into the budget. Involving everyone in the budgeting process cultivates a shared sense of responsibility and understanding, minimizing conflict over financial matters. For instance, when children understand that funds for video games are allocated towards essential school supplies, it encourages a collective effort to adhere to the established financial plan. However, life is unpredictable, and unexpected expenses can arise, be it medical emergencies or unforeseen repairs. To safeguard against these uncertainties, establishing a safety net is crucial. Starting with an initial goal of saving $500 to $1,000 and placing it in an account that's not readily accessible helps to ensure that these funds are reserved for genuine emergencies. Over time, as you continue to live within your means and out of debt, this safety net can be bolstered, providing an added layer of financial security. Living comfortably within a minimalistic budget isn't just about cutting corners. It's about finding serenity and simplicity. By prioritizing our fundamental needs over fleeting wants and preparing for unexpected events, we can unlock a level of freedom that transcends the constraints of financial stress. This approach not only cultivates a more sustainable lifestyle, but also frees us to invest our time and resources in what truly enriches our lives: experiences, relationships, and personal growth. Through minimalism, we can redefine what it means to live abundantly, not by the breadth of our possessions, but by the depth of our experiences. Part 7. Finding Fulfillment Through Challenge and Contribution. With the chains of dependency broken and the realms of minimalism embraced, a vast horizon of freedom unfolds before you. The question then emerges: what will you do with this expanse of newfound liberty? While cultivating health, fitness, and social connections are commendable pursuits, the essence of a truly enriching life is found in purpose. A purpose that transcends self satisfaction and extends a hand towards making a tangible difference in society. The act of donating to charity, while generous, often lacks the personal involvement that imbues our actions with deep meaning and fulfillment. True purpose and significance are born from direct engagement in activities that challenge us, pushing us beyond the comfort of easy, leisurely pastimes. The allure of simplicity, whether lounging in a park or enjoying a leisurely swim, cannot be denied. Yet these activities, devoid of real challenge, seldom lead to a profound sense of achievement or purpose. Contrastingly, embracing endeavors that test our limits and resolve, such as nurturing a child or conquering the grueling miles of a marathon, offers a profound sense of satisfaction. It's these arduous experiences, laden with trials and tribulation, that often become the milestones of our existence, enriching our lives with deep, resonant meaning. The path to enriching not just our lives, but the broader tapestry of society beckons us towards such challenging pursuits. Countless organizations and communities thrive on the volunteer efforts of individuals willing to undertake meaningful work, be it constructing homes for the less fortunate or transforming neglected spaces into blooming community gardens. These tasks, while demanding, promise a reward far greater than any conventional metric of success. And let's not overlook the potential for joy even amidst the most strenuous of tasks. The collective spirit of volunteers, rallying through song on a rain-soaked day or sharing in the simple pleasure of hot chocolate, infuses these moments with a sense of camaraderie and upliftment. Unlike the often intangible outcomes of corporate labor, the tangible impact of volunteer work offers an unmistakable clarity of purpose. This sense of fulfillment, derived from contributing to something greater than oneself, provides the strength to persist, regardless of the challenges posed by the elements or the task at hand. In embracing a life of minimalism and purpose, we discover that the true essence of fulfillment lies not within the confines of comfort and leisure, but in the embrace of challenge and contribution. It's here, in the heart of purposeful work, that life reveals its most rewarding and meaningful facets, illuminated by the knowledge that our efforts are, in some measure, leaving the world a little better than we found it. Final summary. In the essence of minimalism lies the profound realization that our identities extend far beyond our job titles, and the true currency of a fulfilling life isn't measured by the size of our paychecks. This journey towards a minimalist lifestyle is an invitation to cast aside the excess, the material clutter, and the superficial connections that cloud our existence. It's about making a conscious choice to rid ourselves of the unnecessary, not only in our closets but in our social circles and our financial dependencies. By adopting a minimalist approach, we're not just creating more room in our physical environments. We're clearing space for more meaningful experiences, deeper relationships, and a reconnection with our authentic selves. Minimalism encourages us to question what we truly need to live contentedly and to find joy not in possessions or prestige, but in simplicity and purpose. The transition towards living simply is as much about decluttering our external lives as it is about refining our internal landscapes. It involves reevaluating our relationship with work, money, and materialism, and discovering that fulfillment arises not from abundance but from intentionality. As we embark on this path, we learn that a life of less offers more freedom, more clarity, and ultimately more happiness. In this distilled essence of minimalism, we find not only a strategy for living, but a philosophy for thriving. It beckons us to explore the boundaries of our potential when unencumbered by the heavy weight of excess, revealing that the key to a rich and purposeful existence lies not in having more, but in being more with less. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.